Right, are we on?
Give it 1 second. Oh, we didn't ask for a code. All right, you're good.
Good, all right. I'm Michelle Rehill. Are we getting feedback?
That was my fault. Sorry, you should be good now.
Okay, cool, thank you. I'm Michelle Rehill. I am the chairperson of the Northborough Library Trustees, and I called this meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. Did I say that right? I did. I will read the governor's advisory regarding remote meetings. This open meeting of the Library Board of Trustees is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2022, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on March 29, 2023. All members of the Library Board of Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The act allows Library Board of Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. I will now conduct roll call, so members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Brittany Burns.
Brittany Burns here.
Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, good evening. Almost a good afternoon.
Whatever works. Pat Fonts.
Pat Fonts here.
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan here.
Jocelyn McHeleny is not here. Sorry. Beth Samus.
Beth Samus here.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker here.
I'm Michelle Rehill. I am here. And we also have Jen Bruno here. Jen Bruno, Library Director, is present. All right. I have no opening remarks, so we can move on to the approval of the minutes of the May 21st meeting. Anyone have any
I'd like to point out that there's a misspelling under, it says Northborough Free Library Board of Trustees meeting minutes, and the word minutes is misspelled.
Wait. On the what?
At the very top of the page.
Yeah.
Okay, Northborough Free Library Board of Trustees. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong minutes. I'm looking at April 9th. Pardon me.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 21st, 2024 as presented.
Thank you, Mitch. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Beth. All right, and again, roll call for the approval of the minutes. Brittany?
Brittany Burns will abstain.
Thank you. Mitch Cohen?
Mitch Cohen, yes.
Pat Fonts?
Pat Fonts, aye.
Jim Hogan?
Jim Hogan, aye.
Jocelyn. Beth Samus?
Beth Samus, aye.
Richard Tucker?
Richard Tucker, aye.
I, Michelle Rehill, also approve. The motion carries in the affirmative with one abstention. I think that's it. Thank you. Next item, the FY24 appropriations report. It helps if I hold it in the right direction.
Did everybody
Sorry?
see my note in my report about the rest of the money and how it actually is? It will be reflected pretty much as spent. There may be $1,500 or so that goes back, but we did pretty well. And it is a good thing that we had that salary money because the HVAC did kaput
Yeah,
the software.
that's
So
unfortunate.
it was fortunate that we had that.
It's good you had the money. Unfortunate that you had to spend it on the HVAC stuff.
Yes.
But Did anyone have any comments or questions about the report? If not, we can move on to the library director's report. Yeah, it's a bummer about the HVAC. Glad
At
we
least it's
have
working
money.
for now. We'll just, everybody knock on wood for me. Since I just said that. It is currently nice and cool, so it's good because of the heat wave. The town has put out some announcements that we are a cooling center. So it's really good that our HVAC has been actually really good this summer. And I'm gonna stop there so I don't jinx myself.
I just knocked on wood. I think we got you covered. Did anyone have any comments or questions about the report?
I just have a question about the cooling center part. Who is in the library when the library turns into a cooling center? Or is it just during library hours?
It's just during library hours. Yeah, we haven't had anything so dangerous heat-wise that we would need to consider keeping the library open longer. So it is just during
That's
the,
good.
which is
Okay.
the
Hmm.
warmest part of the day is covered, so that's good.
Right. Anybody have anything else to say or anything else to ask?
Just congratulations again on the award. That's really, really exciting news.
That was really
That
fun.
is good.
Thank
And
you.
I hope you enjoyed San Diego.
I did. It's a very cool city.
No, it's a very hot city.
It's the
Pretty much.
it's the same weather every day of the year, which is there are pros and cons to that. San Diego doesn't change much.
Yeah, it was about 75-ish
Oh,
when I went. So about 20 degrees cooler than it had been. And the locals were all like, sorry, you have such hot weather. It's so muggy. So it must have been like their version of a heat wave.
Oh,
I was kind of jealous.
all right. There's nothing else on the library director's report. We move to the new business, which is the subcommittee assignments. And I'm sure you'll all be shocked to hear me say that I'm going to leave the committees the way they are now. If anyone has, your committee assignments will stay the same. If anyone has a serious concern or question or would like to swap things up, let me know and we can make the change and we can do it officially at the next meeting. But otherwise, administrative is Jocelyn, Beth, and Pat. Long range planning, Jim Hogan, Richard Tucker, Brittany Burns. Building and grounds, Mitch Cohen, and Michelle Rehill, and TBD. So, if anybody wants, I can send out the full list to you by email, and it just has like the 1 or 2 sentence reminder of this is what your board is responsible for. So that's that, unless somebody has a question about that. Okay, working on setting a new record. The date of the next meeting is September 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. and it will be remote, correct? Because we decided September's too crazy with back to school stuff to try to have a meeting. So that's it. Is there any other business that may come before the board at this time? Yes, Mitch?
Thank you. I'm sorry to make this meeting go really, really long. I just wanted to let you and the board know that the select board has been discussing ARPA money, use of some of the federal grant money we got during COVID, which we need to decide on by the end of this calendar year as far as where it goes. On my wish list for ARPA, I put down a $35,000 amount, kind of, I guess you could call it an earmark in political terms, for some library AV equipment for the meeting rooms. Details to be worked out, assuming that it it continues in favor through its path, Jen, you and I can talk about some specifics as far as making sure that's a reasonable amount for, I think the way that I'm sort of looking at it is some of the meeting room type of equipment that the select board has already approved for a couple of other areas, to get those as part of the package that the cable office put together for the library. And then hopefully we can fund more traditional AV equipment through some grant money, but certainly I'm flexible with how that gets used. So that's not written in stone yet, but at least nobody yelled at me when I presented that idea. That's as good as we can get for now. I'm hoping either the August or September select board meeting will get that official.
That'd be great. Yeah, and at some point we might want to talk or call, I don't know if it's this board or if we want to start with the Building and Grounds Committee to kind of talk about whether we would, if it's partially funded, I think the total amount, was it 95,000?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was something like that. So we probably want to have a discussion about whether we want to value engineer the original proposal or fund it in full. I like the proposal as is. I would love to fund it in full, but maybe digging into it a little deeper. Dana is willing to come and discuss it or go over the project in a little bit more detail, because the cable NCAT has been sort of driving this whole thing, because a lot of it is technical, which means there's a lot that I understand the word microphone, but I don't understand like 75,000 other things that are written in that proposal. I know what they do. I don't know how they do it. So Dana can answer all of those questions and kind of go over what it is that we're trying to do in terms of accessibility and hybrid technology and all that kind of stuff. So we'll wait and kind of see where that goes and then have a discussion maybe toward the fall. Once we know if there's, support for part of the project. And thank you for promoting that.
Sure.
And supporting it.
Yeah. Also in my request is it not just library related, but the Be Well Carnival that takes place at the end of the school year has been funded by ARPA for the last 3 years. That money has run out for that initial appropriation. It didn't make it into the town budget for this coming year, so I put in money for that for next year with the hope that future years gets into the town budget, because it's such a great event. Just prior to this meeting, I was at the Council on Aging meeting. They also talked about it as being a great event from their perspective. So it's for the kids, but it really benefits a lot of people, including a lot of town departments that participate. So I hope that becomes a regular thing.
Yeah, everybody at the last one, first of all, every town department that had a table ran out of stuff to give away. But everybody that I talk to that goes to this event says you have to keep doing it. We look forward to it every year. My kids have been bugging me about when is it? It's something that the town really looks forward to, that people really like. It's just such a feel-good event. So thank you again for supporting that. And of course, if it doesn't go through, Allie and Kendra, Isabella and I have been kind of talking about other ways to fund it to keep it going.
And then the only other thing is, and I'll follow this up with an email to Jen, but I know you had talked about a month ago about having the Long Range Planning Committee begin meeting with you on the strategic plan, I think it was, right? So I'll send you an email and we're happy to do that. And whenever it's convenient and we need to do it, we'll just get it done.
Perfect.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that process. One of my favorite things to do, strategic plans.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
All right. Anything else? If not, would someone like
And I
one
can
more?
tell you right now, over here on Howard Street, it is beginning to thunder like mad.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we
Just
can and end the meeting before it finishes rolling across town and we all lose power.
Thank you.
So that being said, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Pat.
Second.
Mitch seconds, thank you. All right, by roll call vote, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting? Brittany Burns,
Brittany Burns, aye.
Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, yes.
Pat Fonts,
Pat Fonts, aye.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Beth Samus,
Beth Thomas, I.
Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
and Michelle Rehill also agrees. Motion carries unanimously. The meeting is officially adjourned at 7:19 p.m.